I wanted to share a recent experience with one of my film cameras, hoping it might offer some insight to those considering getting into film photography. While it's exciting to bring old technology back, there are certain risks involved when buying vintage gear, even used cameras in mint condition. If you've watched my original Contax G1 video, you'll know I'm a fan of this camera and the 45mm Zeiss Planar lens. You'll also know that focusing can be tricky if you don't pay attention. After getting the hang of the camera, it's performed beautifully since I made that first video. On my last adventure at the running track with the Mamiya 7, I brought the G1 as well to rattle off a roll between shots with the Mamiya. The entire roll of the G1 came back from the lab out of focus. I couldn't believe it. I was really stumped. I was consciously taking my time, taking a breath, and making sure focus was locked in. Is the Contax G1 simply unreliable? Or was there something else going on? I removed the lens to have a look and discovered that the contacts on the lens had been messed up somehow. If you look closely, you'll see a couple of contact points have been bent. I'm really careful with my gear, so I don't know how this happened. What do you do when a piece of vintage gear breaks? This lens is one of the best parts about this camera system. How much will it cost to fix it if it can in fact be fixed, versus buying a replacement? What should I do? And I swear, I'm not clumsy. Owning vintage gear is a lot different than owning contemporary gear. Old equipment is aging. Materials are degrading. I mulled it over for about a month and weighed the pros and cons. I've decided this lens is too good to be put down, and it is in fact worth fixing. There's a guy in Vancouver who's been fixing cameras for over 30 years who says he can rebuild it for about $300 Canadian. So I dropped the lens off at VanCam in the capable hands of Bir Arnija. Formerly apprenticing under Horst Wenzel, who was apparently a Leica and Hasselblad repair legend. He and his team are going to rebuild my lens for $300. If they can't fix it, he will only charge me a nominal service fee. Bir told me that over the years he's seen this happen to some Contax lenses. He's not really sure why, but maybe that has something to do with some of its reputation for being difficult to focus. Maybe the contact points need to be looked at, or they're extra sensitive. A couple of days passed, and I got a call from Bir saying that the lens was ready to be picked up. Fingers crossed.
That's this. Taking it apart, getting all the contacts. Yeah, all these. This is where it was all bent. And then refixing them, attaching it, the whole thing. There you are. Now try it.
Time to see if it's working, which of course is going to take forever because you have to get through a roll of 36 exposures, have the lab develop it and scan it before you know. And I find shooting film is such an intentional thing for me, so to go out and shoot random moments to just test the lens was kind of painful. And as you can see, it is working. They fixed it. So I'm back in business. The lens is fixed. I'm happy with the outcome and feel very lucky. And this experience has really kind of made me think, is it better to repair, replace, or abandon ship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.